Pada hari pemain nombor 10 yang telah menjaringkan gol setelah berlaku perturunan.
Malaysian Football Weekly kicks off right now on All Sports Asia.
This is MFW 10. Thanks a lot for joining us on our weekly look at the local game. This week then we've got Nicolas Anil from ESPN FC here.
Hi, what's up guys? 1 week's passed since Bolt destroyed the 100 meters.
So much has happened in 7 days. We've also got Vijhay Vick back this week from FourFourTwo Malaysia joining us.
Hi everyone, thanks Ross.
Follow us on Facebook, it's Malaysian Football Weekly, also All Sports Asia on Facebook. Also check out the website, allsportsasia.net, and we are also on Twitter, at All Sports Asia. Now as the Malaysia Cup groups draw to a close, we're going to be bringing you all the latest action, so much to talk about. Also 4 matches left in the MSL season, and next week, massive week, as second takes on first. We'll get to all that in due course. Let's start though, guys, with a chat about that big, massive meeting. We left off last week's show talking, inferring that there was a big meeting going on, FAM, they were going to hold on Monday. Basically, this is all regarding what TMJ said he had on a thumb drive, correct?
Well, I don't know where to start.
Okay, let me set the scene. So TMJ's come out and he said he has a thumb drive detailing evidence of corruption within FAM. We believe he consulted with our Minister of Sport, and then he came out and made a statement saying he has defeated the EXCO members, they are all going to step down, and that was when FAM called the meeting.
Yes,
correct
it was
timeline?
part of the executive meeting, and one of the key decisions that was revealed was that the elections would be brought forward from 2018 to 2017. With regards, that is largely due to TMJ's statement before this, and the press laid into the EXCO members once the decision was made. I think Vijhay was very vocal in throwing the questions to them. I think you can elaborate on what you asked them.
If you look at how, they've said that they've brought forward the elections 1 year,
Yeah, 1 year.
but it's not the statement which TMJ initially claimed, saying that they're going to retire. Retire means you're going to leave and you're never going to come back. This is a statement that they're stepping aside, as in they're stepping down to seek a new mandate. So this same officials, people who
Have done so well so far.
well, let's be honest, who have not really done much to help Malaysian football, will easily be voted back, because you've got the same people voting again. So it's actually back to square one. It's a no decision to me.
So basically, unless we know if there is something on this thumb drive, TMJ, if you're watching this, forward it to us, rossyusof@gmail.com. But yeah, I mean, unless that comes out, we don't know, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now you don't know what's going to happen. I look at it as just a continuing saga, and until the details of the pendrive come out, we're not going to move anywhere, because FAM are basically staying put, are saying, well, it's up to TMJ whether he wants to reveal it or not. FAM are refusing to take a hard stand as well. This can be seen as a club attacking the National Association, and in a lot of countries, the association reacts, and even to the extent of suspending or taking disciplinary action. But it's not happened here. Why?
Yeah, it's pretty much very evident that it's a stopgap measure just to appease the factions of fans and also clubs that want FAM to step down. But you go back to the affiliates, they are made up of the 14 state FAs plus ATM, PDRM, the respective football associations in the country, as well as the coaches associations. And all these affiliates are within the FAM circle, and they are the one who are eventually going to vote for the new executive members. So we're coming back to the same circle, and we've always been talking about Malaysian football being privatized. Privatization has to take place by 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And for privatization to take place within all the clubs, the affiliates has to be forward-thinking.
The association needs to be professional as well.
They need to get stakeholders which are forward-thinking to get the right resources and also the right personnel who are visionary enough to get a proper infrastructure and also youth development. That is not going to happen if we have the same officials in the setup.
And the same officials who can't seem to let go of their president, who's desperately wanting to leave.
Yeah, as far as we know, he wants out.
He wasn't present in yet another ex-committee.
Well, the red carpets were laid out for him in FAM.
Yes.
Well, something is afoot in Malaysian football. We could spend a whole show sorting it out, but we won't.
Or a whole day.
A whole day. We won't. No. Let's go to the action, and let's start with MSL, because JDT are edging ever so much closer to their third consecutive title. Their latest outing was at the 4-0 demolition of PDRM last Tuesday. They look awesome in the league, don't they, guys?
Well, it's theirs to lose. Next match is going to be key for them. But at this point of time, you see Diaz on top form, Lucero on top form. I think between them, they've scored nearly 30 goals. I think it's 28 or 29 or somewhere around there. And that's just two players banging in all the goals. And I would actually be surprised to see them not win a third Champions League. A third straight Malaysian Super League title and get to the Champions League playoffs.
The only banana skin for JDT seems to be the Malaysia Cup. We'll come to that in due course, but as far as the league's concerned, like Vijhay said, it's theirs to lose, right?
Yeah, they are definitely on the verge of history. In my recollection so far, I can't seem to think of a team which has gone a season unbeaten up to this stage so far. You know, and
not in Malaysia.
Not in Malaysia, yeah. I mean, you don't compare them with Arsenal, but just in the Super League, JDT are head and shoulders, and you can see what they did to PDRM. You know, that stay PDRM had after the 4-1 thrashing was, I think, the worst 4 days they had in Larkin, and it was just one-way traffic throughout. And you look at the fixtures that JDT are going to have after this. They have both Terengganu, T-Team, sandwiched between the Felda game, and then lastly they have Selangor. I don't see any of the matches which
causing a problem.
Yeah, causing a problem for them.
Okay, well, Felda are one of only 2 domestic teams to have defeated JDT in the last 12 months, and they are hanging on in there, albeit 4 points behind. They swept past bottom place Pahang at the Tun Abdul Razak Stadium in Jenka. Impressive 3-0 win.
Very, very impressive.
Oh, this was an away win, wasn't it? This was in Kuantan. Sorry, I got that the other way around. But Zarahan, we've spoken about him for seasons now.
I think he's one of the best central midfielders.
Exactly, he is the driving force.
Yeah, definitely, and he's got a good pairing in the middle with Lutfullah this season. Both of them have been moving up, down. Basically, if you take the 2 out, I don't think Felda would finish anywhere near the top 3. But you've got also stronger players like Shuko.
How old is Shuko?
He's 35, 36.
yeah.
And at 35, 36, I think he's the best defender, the best central back, the best Malaysian centre back
who can read the game
in the league.
Whenever Shuko Adan has scored for Felda this season, they have kept the clean sheet. And you look at their defensive record, they've only conceded 17 goals. That is the second lowest behind JDT. So we talk about their midfield and also the strike force. FourFourTwo
16 goals.
Yeah. But you can see it all starts from the heart of defense, and Shuko is there. Such a commanding presence, not only on the pitch but also off the pitch. And AFF Cup 2014, he was there as well. He had quite a solid campaign. I see him back in the national team.
They're trying to get him actually, but he's from what I've heard, he's refusing to come out of retirement because he's like, I'm already 35, 36. It's better.
Well, it looks like,
and it's the AFF Cup.
He might even have a season of AFC Cup next year.
Yes.
Well, I think it's certain.
Yeah,
already
exactly.
Because 12 points ahead, unless Kedah can overturn a 26 goal deficit in 4 matches.
It has been done. Not. Okay, let's move on and talk about Selangor. The Red Giants are currently managerless. They were held to a 1-1 draw by Terengganu in Shah Alam last out. I watched this game. Terengganu actually looked better for most part of it. Took the lead, and it took an Andik Vermansha equaliser late in the game. Not good enough for Selangor.
Well, Selangor have not been good enough the entire season. They should be challenging for the title with the squad they have. Yeah, there are some areas lacking depth, and Zainal had some problems with injuries and all that. But if you look at the players, I don't think every player is playing to their true capability. Their imports have been disappointing for the first half of the season. Andik, only in the last 2 matches, have been coming out of his shell.
Well, he's been given a captaincy, hasn't he?
Yeah,
That has
that's
changed,
really
I think.
rejuvenated.
Yeah,
him.
that has done him. I mean, prior to this, Gunalan, the interim manager, he's done all right. I mean, he had 2 wins coming into this. He actually kept most of the squad, but against struggling Terengganu, you'd expect a win.
Yes, definitely. I think one of the reasons was because Gunalan stuck to the same squad which played against Kelantan, and almost a similar squad which played against Pahang as well. So the players are really tired. They've been on the road for the best part of the week, and it really showed in the performance. Yeah, of the 2 months, because they started off playing a lot of their games in Klang Valley, so now they have to travel a lot, and it's really showing in their performance.
It's tough, the life of a professional footballer, and I tell you what, in Malaysian football, the schedule is more than demanding. Kedah will replace Selangor in third after they beat Sarawak 2-1 at the Darul Aman Stadium. Kedah have got their tails up now. They can see Selangor just in front of them.
They've overtaken Selangor.
I know. So going into this game, that was the case. They turned it on, regardless of what Selangor did, and they look good, Kedah.
Well, I think they're one of the better sides in the league, in the cup as well. They've been consistent in the Malaysia Cup. Well, they've not secured top spot, but it looks like it's going to be theirs going into the next round. Well, if they've got an international break, they need to recuperate, and if they can make use of that international break, get a lot of rest, I would see them securing third spot. Second is definitely out of reach, but third spot is theirs as well.
Yeah, I don't know about break, because Kim Swee is going to have his eye on a lot of the Kedah players.
Yeah,
many
You know,
actually.
they had about 5 to 8 players in the previous national call-up. Yeah,
No, it was Badrul, Amirul.
plus the under 23 squad as well. But Tan Cheng Ho's just made he's utilised his resources so well throughout the season.
But that Tan Cheng Ho is a case of he's a rarity. In case of they've kept faith in him. He loves Kedah, obviously, through and through.
Born and bred.
But there was never a reason to keep faith in Tan Cheng Ho to begin with, since he took over. Was it the Malaysia Cup?
Last season.
No, he took over
2
somewhere in the
seasons
league.
ago.
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
I don't think there was ever a time that he needed any assurance. Yeah, there were some crazy fans who came up and said, "Oh, rest Tan Cheng Ho." This was just like 3-4 weeks back. But I think it was ridiculous. They were already top of their group then.
They're doing the right things.
Yeah.
They're now supplying the Malaysian football
And
team.
you got to
with
remember
players.
that they don't have star players within their ranks. They weren't really active in both the transfer windows, and yet they have been absolutely consistent, not only in the league but also in the Malaysia Cup, where they're going great guns.
Well, and they're the only one of 2 Malaysian teams to have beaten JDT this year.
Exactly.
Yes, we have to highlight that.
Yeah.
as well.
No, I'm stating it because JDT is not a team which is easy to beat. I think only Felda and Kedah are capable. Even Felda have not beaten JDT yet this season.
Not this season. No.
But let's face it, you have to give them credit for being able to beat JDT, because they are the benchmark.
Agreed. All right, moving on then. Kelantan are in good form. They recorded a 3-2 win away in Penang. Now, Penang themselves have been in good form recently, but Kelantan went 2 up, didn't they? Through Wanzak Haikal and Vanda Luis Jr. And Petrov Popov was.
Popov.
Yeah, he's got them playing good football.
Yeah, he's got them playing good football. I think he's really scared. He's got them scared of them as well. But I'm pretty sure the linesman and everyone's scared of him as well.
Yeah, he's quite vocal on social media, especially when the team wins, and even more so when they don't win.
Yeah, I've got into an argument with him as well.
Yeah, but key I think for Kelantan is not only their new signings, Wanda Lewis and also Margaro Gomez. It's also been the resurgence of Wansek Haikal, who's been beleaguered with injuries, throughout the beginning of this season, and coming back from FC Ryukyu, one of the few Malaysians which got a stint over there. I think he did reasonably well, but just to come back and then adapt back into the squad, and now just to adapt back into Popov's playing style. He's got a different playing style as compared to Devon.
He's got 4 goals in the last 1.5 months.
Yeah, a couple of assists as well. So this surge of form will really do him good ahead of the national friendlies and also the FF Cup. I really do hope that he keeps this form up, because we really need depth in the flanks as well.
He's exactly the type of attacking player.
Yes.
Exciting as well. Alright, well, the last remaining game in the MSL last week ended goalless between T-Team and Perak. So the table kind of looks like this. We've got JDT 4 points clear of Felder, 4 games left. Kedah are a point clear of Selangor in 3rd. Can they keep it there? That's the massive question. Kelantan are now only 3 points behind Selangor.
Yeah.
Now, that would be embarrassing, wouldn't
These
it?
teams will also have to juggle Malaysia Cup.
good point.
Honestly, well, it's not going to make a difference whether they finish 3rd or 10th. Because from 3rd to 10th, the only thing different is bragging rights and a bit of prize money, which probably can't even cover a month's salary of all the players.
Or even petrol to travel to the matches.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got nothing. There's nothing much for them in the Super League. You've got the top 2 there, and then you've got the bottom maybe 6-7 teams competing, and that's about it.
Yeah, right at the bottom, you've got Pahang who really look doomed. It's a case of Terengganu, Sarawak, Penang trying to avoid that 11th spot with them. Right, that's the MSL. The fixtures next week then, the massive one, the one that springs out, is the Felder versus JDT game. Now, we were all talking about it. Should we make that drive to Jenka next week? We might do,
Yeah, that's a plum tie throughout this campaign. It all probably leads up to this particular fixture. The neutrals are all going to be on Felda's side, because we want to see the league title go to the Warriors.
Go to the final day.
Yeah, that would be nice. Selangor will be hoping that Perak will slip up in Kelantan as they go looking for 3 points in Sarawak. And that's about it for the MSL. A very short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at the Malaysia Cup.
This is MFW on All Sports Asia.
Hey, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Nicolas Anil from ESPN FC and Vijhay Vick from FourFourTwo Malaysia here. Just one more match left in the Malaysia Cup group stages. Let's go through group by group. In Group A, the top 2 met at the Darul Aman Stadium last Saturday, and it was Kedah 0, T-Team 1. Of course, Kedah already qualified, but I mean, it's important to finish top, right? To avoid the likes of JDT and all that kind of stuff.
The second place team in this group is probably going to be Felda, and you don't want
to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Krasniki and Shane Smelts were close, but couldn't find the back of the net. It was Makan Konate again. He's popping up with the goals recently.
Very vital goals.
He had a good first half of the season as well.
In Group A then, it looks like this. So you've got Sarawak against JDT 2, Kedah 0. Sarawak JDT 2 was 1-1. Kedah 0, T-Team 1. The next round of games, JDT 2 will take on T-Team. Now, T-Team will win that and go on to 13 points. If they do that, they will finish top. Kedah, depending on how, I mean, they've got to overturn Sarawak by 1 goal better than JDT.
I think that shouldn't be a problem, considering the way Sarawak have been playing. But for Sarawak and also JDT 2, it's just purely academic. These two fixtures, they're just going to be looking to finish up the tie. For Sarawak, it's going to be survival in the MSL. For JDT 2, perhaps promotion to the MSL.
They're not going to go for that.
Yeah?
They're not going to go for that.
You think that?
JDT, it's not what I think, it's what the club have said. The club at the start of the season and said that JD2 will not get promoted, so...
But they seem to be going great guns.
Well, yeah, I know, but That's what the club
seems
wants.
really weird
The club
that
has said that.
you would go all the way, second place, third place, and then just drop
But
off. towards
it's
the other.
happened like that, right?
They've also made an application to FMLP at the start of the year, not to be promoted, but I'm not too sure what has taken place.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because we're not sure whether they're a feeder club, they're the second team, or the reserves.
Yeah, or do you think
I
go
think it's
back
the
on
reserves, not a development squad. You can't have a development squad of 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds, and even
Yeah, and
27-year-olds.
having star players like Paulo Rangel
or even Irfan Fazail
Yeah.
and all that. That's not a development squad.
Okay, in Group B, Selangor replaced Kelantan at the top after a resounding 4-1 win in Kota Baru. This was a surprise result, wasn't it?
Kelantan pretty much fielded.
It was a much change. It was an almost all Malaysian Kelantan side.
Yes, correct. And Selangor really took advantage of that. They looked really raw in defending, and Selangor blitzed their way through. First half, I think they scored 3 goals, and then even though they got a player sent off, they went on to score 4th. Really comfortable victory for Selangor there, and that was a vital win because it confirmed their Malaysia Cup final berth.
Which is important considering they are the holders.
Yeah, I'm thinking this result is going to come back and haunt Kelantan. Because there is a possibility of meeting JDT in the next round if JDT go through. And you need home ground advantage in your second leg.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are facing. Well, the odds are all against you.
That's a great point. Oh well, that win for Selangor meant that it didn't matter that Pahang beat KL 2-1 because the table looks like this. Pahang are now 4 points off the top 2, so there's no chance of them making up that ground. Final round of matches, we'll see KL versus Selangor. Back in the old days, this used to be a massive derby game.
A few weeks ago, you barely attracted about 3,000.
Yeah, the reverse fixture only attracted about 3,000. But for KL, it'll be again about promotion. The KL coach has said that he's going to field a young team, and that's what he's done throughout the tournament. So it's just an exposure for them. It'll be great to see them back in the MSL next season.
Pahang will be playing for pride, of course, against Kelantan. Let's move on to Group C, where it is the most open group of the lot. As we enter Matchday 6, PKNS moved up to second, thanks to their 2-1 win against Perak. Good win for them.
Yeah, that win was largely due to Perak because of Kenny Palraj sending off. It is really silly sending off as well. After doing so well in the past few games, he had a chance to consolidate Perak's position in Group C, and then he gets himself sent off, and they were undone after that.
JDT picked up their first win of the group when they beat PDRM 4-1 in Larkin. Long time coming. No one thought that it would take 5 games for JDT to register their first win in the Malaysia Cup.
Definitely. No matter what the club says or how serious they are, they've got a second squad good enough to even win the competition. So the fact that they're still struggling, I think the second stringers have sort of failed in the group.
I mean, Amri Yahya was leading the team on this occasion. A resounding 4-1 win. What it means is that, as you can, the table, you've got Perak, PKNS and PDRM on 7 points. JDT 4th on 6 points. So going into the final round of games, PKNS against JDT.
Yeah, that is going to be.
Well, how many times have they played this season?
That is going to be the deciding match of who gets through to the next round.
Both matches are.
Yeah. But looking at JDT, I don't know, they've got a plum tie on one hand against Velda, but they've also got this match. I think it's going to be a mixture, Gomez is not going to field an all-local side. He's probably going to put maybe Diaz alone up front and then bring in Amri, or pair Amri with either Diaz or Lucero. Now that they are in this position, they know a victory would take them to the quarterfinals.
Only a victory will take them through.
Yeah, they need a win. They need a win.
Even a draw and they're out.
A draw is not enough for JDT, so they need to win against PKNS. PDRM against Perak. Now going into Matchday 6, Perak are top. They're away at PDRM. PDRM's form's been iffy, but they're still in prime position to make the next round.
Yeah, Perak just Perak just needs a draw, and if you look at their goal difference, I think they're 6 goals ahead of PKNS and PDRM. So a draw will, well, almost certainly. Well, I think it's a definite. I can't really remember, but Perak's going to go out there, meaning just a draw, and you're going to have PDRM throwing everything they've got. So you've got a good game there going as well.
Yeah, and PDRM will have interest in the Malaysia Cup because they're pretty much settled in mid-table in the MSL. So
Yeah, they're safe.
Yeah,
all
all
the teams are
so-
except for JDT actually.
pardon?
All the teams are except for JDT.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. All right. In Group D, then, Negeri Sembilan and Malacca are currently fighting for second spot. Last Friday, Malacca were impressive 2-0 winners
Yep.
over N9.
Yeah, Malacca for me, but they are still 6 points in third place, so they will definitely need a win in this game. But for me, even if Malacca don't make it
It's
back,
not their big picture, right?
No.
They're top of the Premier League. That's their main
that's-
aim.
this was a
That's
team
the big
which has only played one season in the Malaysia Super League in the last 12 seasons, 12
Wow,
years.
yeah.
You know, to put into context, they have been largely a Premier League and FAM Cup side. And even when they were plying their trade in the Premier League, they were finishing mid-table. And also the FAM League, they were not doing too well, you know, until Mat Aris came in and
Yeah.
reformed the team. So just for them to come back from the FAM Cup to the Premier League and now on the brink of promotion to the Super League is just history and a milestone for the supporters and also for the state itself.
All right. Well, Felder are pretty much assured of top spot after winning 3-0 in Terengganu. Both teams started strongly. Fazli Alias headed home the opener, and yeah, I mean, Felder, it's their MSL form carrying into the Malaysia Cup. They've got big squad of players, right?
Not really actually. If you compare Felda and JDT,
Oh, and you
Felda-
can't compare to JDT.
But even if you compare Felda to Selangor, I think Selangor have probably just got just a bit more depth in their squad in a lot of areas. Felda don't have replacements.
Are we surprised how well Felder have? No,
Not really.
How much of it is down to the fact that they have a specialist stadium built at Janka, and
I
has
don't
that helped
think.
them?
Well, I don't think that has made any difference unless it's artificial turf, right?
It's artificial turf.
So unless that has played to their advantage.
But according to the players, that has been one of the factors that Felder are doing really well because when
Because it's a pain to drive there. Is that why?
psychologically,
I don't know
it's
how they
challenging
do
for the
it.
teams as well, maybe.
because they are based in Kajang, they train in Kajang and they go back for their matches in Jenka. So that's a lot of traveling
That's
for
a
them.
lot of traveling.
But they seem to be putting on a different sort of performance when they're performing at home, you know, right smack in the middle of the settlement. I think it's probably because they get a healthy crowd, you know, that stadium
Yeah.
can fit 25,000. They're getting an average of 20,000 this season. So it's been one of the main factors of their
You got to
Brilliant
give
stuff.
a lot of credit to Irfan as well. I think he's an example. You've heard a lot of people saying on how, oh, you need foreign coaches,
Yeah,
you need foreign
yeah,
coaches and all that. This is one guy who's the oldest coach in the league, well, until Carl Wegan came in. And he's Malaysian and he's taken a club and they're all on par with JDT
Yeah.
at the moment in terms of performance. So
And
I
they've
think
also
he squashes the talk of you need foreign coaches.
agreed, and I know that Felda also have a very healthy youth development
yes,
project
great point there.
going. They
Yes.
play regularly in the Friends United tournaments,
Yeah.
and they're very well run, aren't
Correct.
they? Okay, so final round of matches in Group D. Then you've got N9 hosting Felda United. Of course, Negeri Sembilan second at the moment on 9 points. They're not going to want to slip up. At least a draw is
Yeah.
what they're aiming for, right?
Yes.
Terengganu against Malacca, that could be interesting. Malacca will need the win. They would also need N9 to slip up.
Yeah, I don't see N9 somehow slipping up.
Really, against Felda?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
Felda are
Felda
pretty
could
much
have,
done
yeah.
and dusted.
Yeah,
They're
could
going to
have their
have
minds
all
up.
their attention on the JDT
Yeah,
game.
you could be right there.
So
12 points
N9
there.
pretty much chalked up for a result. But Terengganu focus should just be on the MSL. You know.
Saving themselves.
Yeah, if they go to somehow miraculously
Escape.
Escape. That would be a really bonus for them.
And for Malacca, the big picture is about promotion to next season's Malaysia Super League. So that's it. That's our look at the last 7 days of football. All that's left for me to do is to thank these two gentlemen here. Many thanks, Vijay.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
And thanks, Nicholas.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, massive game. Felder against JDT next week, and we will be back to talk about it. Until then, bye-bye.
Follow us on Facebook and tune in next week for more Malaysian Football Weekly on All Sports Asia.